But what's your
Whoa!
bird?
Ah!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
I almost forgot how to do the intro.
Did we have? I'm saying, did we have one? Like it's been years since we. Man. Hello, folks.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode of Sketch and Catch featuring my man Trae.
It's me.
We've taken a hiatus because of life. But yeah, we're back and we're gonna start getting back into it as soon as we can link up schedules.
Yeah.
I was kind of actually, because I'm back to work at a call center, I won't mention. My schedules have been changing because of training and such. It's gonna change again next week. So after next week, we'll be able to see how we can link up and continue providing our memorable and admirable content that we do every month.
Watch as soon as you get your schedule straight. I'm gonna go to second shift.
Which actually work out because I'm
It
pretty
might.
much second shift.
Are you about to be second shift?
11:30 to 8.
Oh, we're gonna have to be on weekends.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be able to do it even. Try to go home.
Actually, I won't mind because I'll have to do that on Thursdays anyway.
We'll discuss it definitely.
Yeah.
What's up, folks, though?
It's been a month. How you been? How's everything been going? How are you?
It has been a month. We'll say that.
Yeah.
It's been really good. It's been busy. I've been to Oklahoma. Did a family reunion. I made a video for my mama. Like the photo compilation.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that for her.
Where's the waddle? Like a Korean version of me.
Anyway, how would I know
Like
what
a
a Korean?
Japanese version.
I thought you was Korean. See, I can be racist too.
Alright, that's how we're starting. Okay. That's your one.
Ding ding.
Been so long. I feel like I'm like out of practice.
A little bit, huh? A little bit.
Forget
but-
like the mental it takes to keep up with all this stuff.
That's what I'm afraid of. I haven't started my podcast yet. I did reach out to some people about some ideas that I didn't want to directly read.
Speaking of which, the reason why I asked you for your information on Father's Day is because I was trying to send you a gift.
Did I not send you my information?
You did. I was trying to process what I was getting for you, and it kept giving me an error. And then the next day, I ran out of money.
It's okay. I appreciate that.
I actually still plan on getting it for you because I got paid.
Oh, okay. How's that feel?
After catching up with, see, look, here's the thing about what happened is that I couldn't really enjoy my first couple of checks.
Of course you couldn't.
Because one, we had to catch up.
Mhm.
Like, you know, it wasn't like we had to really catch up. It was a smooth turnaround. But then Silas's birthday came up, and I'm like, oh, so I got to start coming out of pocket. Like, I'm trying to like figure out everything that I want to do as far as saving, spending. I've like really minimized my list of wants, and then I'm really focusing on my needs because adulting. And like I have a clear focus of what I want to buy as far as big purchases. Small ones, like just I window shop just to kind of get that kick, and then I'm good. But yeah, no, taking over bills like that we have split, and then the damn birthday party. Which, did you enjoy yourself? Did you guys enjoy yourself?
Good time.
I'm glad you did.
Kids had a good.
They seem like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is for me.
And then yeah, like just trying to function on the groceries, the gas. Crazy enough, I use the car 5 days a week to go to work, and because I'm coasting at a good 35-40 miles per hour, I don't really use a whole lot of gas. Plus I'm 10 minutes away.
Where Wichita is good for that because you don't use a lot of gas to get
Yeah.
nowhere. You know what I mean?
I think the only thing that hurts is whenever she drives, because she likes to speed like she's in her Ford Fiesta. And
hey, I seen I seen it driving on 13th and Oliver.
Yeah,
He had a pretty good grip on the
and
wheel.
with still instability, be all over the road, just gripping the wheel for no reason.
Nah, yeah, I mean, like, right now, actually, she's getting back to work, so I've been real quiet and not using no gas and stuff because I'm putting everything on the table, which actually no problem. I really appreciated the time that she had off because I was able to see her go into a version of her that didn't have to work 8 hours.
Yeah,
Once you get it, pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just ain't no money on the table.
Right.
So, I'm ready to bounce back and get back to just kind of a different level of stability. That's gonna be really.
and I like that you chose the topic for today because fear is the topic for today. We just kind of sporadically chose it, and that we've already touched on the word 3 times, so that's a really good start. I'll go ahead and start with what piggybacking off you. My fear going back to work was that I wouldn't have time to integrate what I would want to do with myself as far as streaming, DJing, music. I felt like my time was just gonna be gone. I'd be tired, and like I pretty much had to focus on just making my life and my job my career.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that, but I realized that I have a pretty good balance. Like I was tested, and I can manage well. I just got to make sure I can manage giving them time, understanding. That's why I was taking this month off, trying to catch up, to which I didn't. I spent way too much time with them, just trying to.
That's never a bad thing.
It's not, but all the other times where I'm just like, okay, no, we're gonna do something tonight, and then nothing happened. I'm like, well, this could have been time.
But
this could have been time I could have been doing stuff.
I will say, like, y'all seem like y'all are a pretty busy family, a lot.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't feel bad because, bro, we don't do. Like, we go to my parents' house and let Zach run around, but like he likes to do splash pads and stuff. But, like, on my end, can I talk about my recent?
Heck yeah.
Sorry, did I cut you off?
No, you're good. Actually, I do feel like it's getting a little warm. I want to make sure you're comfortable. Let me go hit this AC real quick. Give me like 5 seconds.
Hold on to that thought. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. It's gonna distract me. I'm afraid of. Yep. Okay. Big one. Out of that. Good ones for you. Know what I'm gonna draw though. I'm not gonna draw what I'm afraid of. I think that's kind of cliche. I might put in some elements of, we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. I'm gonna start working on kind of. I always say special mom. What up, Kai? Like those shoes? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. He's at home. He's probably asleep by now. Appreciate that. What? What? That's what you're supposed to do. That's kind of what our podcast is about, right? We dads. It's kind of whenever that happens, like, I think that's kind of a good thing we have about our podcast. I notice a lot of dads do podcasts too. Like that's a centric thing. All the guys in the podcast that I listen to, like, we're dads, and like sometimes you get those moments where you got to stop and like tend to the kids or do something like that involves being a dad. Yeah, don't ever apologize for it, or you don't even have to thank me.
It's hospitality.
I feel that.
My anxiety of being a lackluster host.
You better be worried about being a lackluster daddy.
I ain't worried about that. Because they got a good mom.
They do. Oh, shut up. Somebody there, shit. Who's watching your kids? Jesus. My baby daddy.
Always have to be there.
Took the bacon off your back right now. I need to watch that movie. It's been a hot minute since I've seen it.
Which one is that?
My baby daddy.
Oh, Baby Daddy?
Yeah, something like that.
With Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin and
the other two.
Eddie Griffin, Anthony Anderson,
That's who it was.
Italian, Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And who else? Who was the female lead in there? But that wasn't like Regina or
Regina King was in it.
was it?
Wasn't that? No, was that? No, that wasn't Eddie Griffin's baby mama, was it? I don't remember.
No, he had the crazy one.
Yeah, I thought that's who she played. But I don't remember who's all in it. Now I gotta watch it.
Yeah,
that's a classic. If y'all haven't seen the old classic, old.
It is. It's like 20 years old.
My baby daddy, whichever one it is.
Okay.
It's good. Look it up. About to. But here, I am afraid that I am not spending enough time with him, not spending enough constructive time toward him being a little boy that's gonna survive in the world. Yeah, that's been a big fear of mine. That man's a wizard. That's dope. I like how you did that etching at the top. Who is that? Oh yeah, pretty cool. But
Like he owned this damn room.
man is a wizard. You know, you got to give it to him. Don't dull his shine. It's called My Baby's Daddy. Yeah, like I notice how tired I am. I notice I can't do everything that he wants to do. And I think that's the thing. Like I was disappointed whenever I heard my daddy tell me no to those kinds of things. But now I'm kind of understanding. And now I got to see him not understand.
That's
yeah,
gonna
and he's
be
a kid,
disappointing because
be
you're not getting what you want.
He can't ride on my shoulders every time he asks me to ride on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be as if I did. Not for real. I kind of feel sorry for them daddies who always have their kids on their shoulders.
Oh my gosh. Get off me.
But you know, I don't want him to lose interest in what I have to say to him, and just like feel like I'm not the one that wants to be around him 24/7. You know, I got that one-on-one relationship with Zach because of having one son.
Yeah,
you got 3 of them motherfuckers. Yeah, they can they kind of create that time for themselves, don't they?
Kinda, but they also will. They've kind of started, but they'll do this thing as they get older where they're gonna start acting like we have a favorite. Because there's 3 of them. So once they're gonna start building that insecurity of themselves, this will probably start when they're like 8 or 9, and it'll go on until they're like realize it's non-existent. That
25, 30.
Yeah. There's a favorite, that does happen. That does tend to happen a lot in like Asian culture, especially Chinese. But I won't ever have a favorite. You all equally annoy the fuck out of me.
My sisters thought that I was the favorite for so long, but I had to be raised differently, and that was a whole thing because my mama, what would she know about raising a boy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my daddy was working second shift, so it was just like, what am I doing? type of thing. But yeah, no, I got everything. I was spoiled. I had to be the one that everybody called on to do things, from killing spiders to trying to fix fucking shit. You ain't gonna, yeah.
Fixing the computer, fixing the internet.
Now, see, my oldest sister fixed all the computer stuff because she's a computer nerd. She's still 5 years ahead of me in the computer world.
How do you type?
What do you mean? How do I type?
This, like this?
No. I'm not a pecker. I'm not a pecker. I went to school to do and work on computers and stuff. If I'm still pecking in college level education, I should. Hey, I ain't got no job yet, so they might think I'm still. Can you imagine me helping my mama with a video like that, knowing she the one?
The funniest thing that I can imagine is you're talking about doing digital art, and you're just like,
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm so like, but I'm so bad about having space to do everything.
hmm.
I don't always even use a keyboard.
Oh.
Uh,
I mean, for you doing
tablets and
digital
stuff,
art,
you
you
know what I
don't
mean?
really need it.
Photoshop and stuff, which is what I use. It's
Uh-huh.
way better to have a keyboard and to use
Like the
hotkeys.
shortcuts.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can be right here. Ooh, that look good. The honey mango.
There's plenty.
Huh?
There's plenty. You can walk out with one today.
Oh.
0 down.
Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
Good credit, bad credit, no credit. You can get you a mango today.
I went in without confidence and I walked out with a mango.
All purchase is
Almost
final.
2. My stomach started hurting. I'll be back. Go find mango peels at your front door.
Look like you're gonna be around the corner behind some tree or something. Ah!
Doing the drive by.
That was that one dude that did all the funny videos. He's like kind of bigger and he's black. He's behind the tree with that yellow tux on like
Oh, Spice Adams, that's my idol. I love Spice Adams. But yeah, I hope I don't. I was about to say something.
I was actually I was
Squirrel.
waiting for you to wrap up, but I was gonna say, here's the thing about being a dad as we're growing to learn. As you become a man of yourself, you realize you don't have to say a lot. You can say a whole lot in few words, which you do well already. But as you tend to get older and you start to realize there's not a whole lot needs to be said. And, you know, as long as you're there for him and you're able to answer questions for him and just kind of show him what it means to actually be the kind of man that you are. Removing the title man, but just kind of being an adult, you know, understanding work needs to be done. You as a growing child need to understand you don't need to be coddled and held and have all the attention all the time. Like you have to understand like this is your world, your journey too. I'm there for you, but also I'm still putting things into effect for your future, for my future, for our future. So
That's fair.
I think as adults, when you start to become a parent and you're looking around and seeing how people interact as families or as single parents, or you know, parents who became parents because something happened with the actual parents, say for like adoption or you know, kind of like took a kid in for whatever reason. You start to understand how you really need to be in a child's life, and a lot of it is unnecessary. Especially like, you know, a lot of people who think that they have to be there for a kid at all times when they're young. That's not really necessary or true. Like me and my wife had a couple talks about it with, you know, how our parenting is different because, you know, I'm not the type of person who will fake affection. Like if it's there, it's there. That doesn't mean I don't like have anything for you, but I'm not gonna fake showing it.
Been having a hard time with that one.
And so, you know, I'm not gonna sit there and be all kissy kissy love you in the middle of the day for no reason. Like, you know, I'm just not that type of person. But I will show you that I love, care, and respect you by doing things. Your spring's out. If you want a leaded pencil, you can get one from the back.
Motherfucker.
But I love how every chance I get to say this. Parenting is a learning experience every day. There's no such thing as a pro parent because every new day is a learning experience. And not only being a parent, being an adult. Like there are
Yeah,
different
'cause
things
that shit
happening
sucks.
every
First of
day.
all.
Like if you're living a Monday life where nothing changes, guess what? That big change is gonna hit, and when that hits, there's a new version of you that you're experiencing that you have to go through the challenges with.
Mhm.
Like you have a mundane life, and if you have no one in your life, it's just you. You go to work and don't talk to anybody. However your job is, you go home and you just do the same thing over and over and over again. Time will always tell you that Monday life isn't gonna be so mundane. Something
Right.
that's always gonna happen,
Something's gonna happen.
whether it's directly or indirectly, and it's all just a learning experience. You just you have to be open minded to understanding that you can learn. I hate this thing, especially with women, where you try to tell them about raising their kids and like, don't tell me how to raise my kids.
Hey,
You're not a
hey,
pro.
hey. Stop saying they about to come for you. You trying to keep a level-headed podcast, and they just going.
Oh, we are a level-headed podcast.
We do run a level-headed podcast. Until you
chaos
say
comes
what
from
women
people-
do, you better stop.
Learn you something. Learn you something, okay?
You better sit down and learn something now.
This isn't a means of disrespect. This is just an understanding. Don't take offense to it just because I said women. Because men do it too, but it's mainly out of women. Because why? Women are known to grow up faster, they say. So when you're growing up too fast, you're dismissing everything that you can learn. And when you think you know better, and someone tries to tell you better or give you a suggestion or give you advice, you get defensive because you've been doing it yourself for all this time.
Fair, I do know more women that take on that mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
hush.
I came from it with the I had to piggyback off the topic, but you brought it up, so you're still in the hot water.
Oh no, you didn't have to join me.
I didn't join you. I just
You
elaborated
could've been
in
Rose
order
and
to
I
settle
could've
the.
been Jack. You could have just let me not get on the door.
I didn't let you get on the door. I'm still on the door. That's what I'm saying. I had to let you sing.
You just
Yep.
came
I
away.
just had to clear up my space so a boat would actually come find me.
Dust off. It's water. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, like that mentality where people have, I'll say people, don't tell me how to raise my kids. You know,
This a mentality that people are afraid of being wrong.
yes,
Is that what it
because
is?
they have this fear of believing that they're not doing it right, therefore they're going to be judged. The fear of being judged, the fear of being wrong are, I will say valid, but when you start to apply it in a sense that that's who you always will be and you're escaping it. There's no escaping being wrong. There's no escaping
Yeah,
not
you're
knowing
gonna
enough.
be wrong. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Because you're wrong and sitting there telling someone not to tell you how to raise your kids. If someone is blatantly telling you how to raise them in
They
a
see
sense
something
of
that
like
you're
anger
not.
or malice, then I can completely understand where you're coming from.
Right.
But if someone was just giving a light suggestion because they've been in your shoes, you don't really have the right to tell someone not to tell you how to raise your kids because you have no idea where they're coming from.
Damn it, I didn't
Your
want to say this.
defensiveness is just off-putting. But you know, just to kind of lighten the mood here, it's all a learning experience, and there, you can and will be wrong. Just be the adult and learn how to grow from it. Apply those wrongs to be right. We've been having a hard time with all them listening.
Yeah, the listen is the summertime weather out
That there's a little bit of freedom.
listening. Man,
He will just not do it. Azrin will just stare at you and then walk off. If he has a blanket, he'll just wrap himself up in it.
mm-hmm.
Silas, with her, he just yells no, says no repeatedly. Me, he just tries to give me attitude. I want to have to get dad mode on her. He goes, fine. We'll continue to complain about it and, you know, jibber jabber, but we didn't actually get into it. What's a fear that you have? We won't do the book of what's your biggest fear. What's a fear that you have?
Fear that I had not being. That's a recent feeling that I've had. Like that hasn't been a lifelong
Not being good enough?
No, like not spending the right kind of time with Zach.
Oh, you did say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was telling.
Sorry. But no, I mean it is. I got that and talk about another type of additional fear. That if fear that you were grown in a lot of black households, they raise their kids off of what they're afraid of what happened. I say a lot of black households because I can only speak for the other black people that I know have this in common, you know. We kind of dumb ourselves, we kind of fear ourselves out of place, is what I told my dad. I said we fear ourselves out of place. Every time we talk about doing something, knock it down, saying, oh, you know, well, these niggas gonna tear it up, or, you know, the stuff that happened to us, it just ain't gonna go right, or how you gonna get that? How you gonna do that? Da, da, da. You're not supposed to know because you've never done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the regular conversation in black people, like, ah, you know,
Yeah.
and we literally become afraid of what happens just because none of us really talk each other up. Well, a lot of us do. Let's be real, because there's plenty of black people that will jump, but the ones that don't jump because they've been, I think, a lot of the time conditioned, just in their life to stay out of doing too much.
Keyword conditioned.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it's not on purpose. A lot of parents are afraid that if there's too much exposure, then you come up in the world and get killed, or, you know, stuff like that. It's very protective. That's also like being overparented and stuff like that. It's like, I'm afraid you gonna drown. I took you to swim lessons, but I can't swim, so I want you to stay out the water.
You know what? I
could have been a world-class swimmer.
I appreciate you saying that and then using that term. It's conditioned, because I've actually been recently having that fear, in a sense that, like, I'm doing what was done before me and with, you know, generations before me, and I'm trying to break that, because I do things out of fear, but I base it on the fact that it's just like kind of common sense to know, but it is an actual fear. I could call it what I want, but I parent the way I parent, I move the way I move, and I advise with the advice I give, because it's a baseline of fear with either unresolved issues or experiences, or just overall experience, where I understand, like, if I can see the person or know the person, I understand their capabilities, not 100%, but if I know you well enough to know your next move, and I can tell you not to do something, and I know you're going to do it anyway, you do it anyway, and the circumstances weren't as bad as I thought they would be, but there were circumstances because you went and did what you weren't supposed to do. And it's not even, it doesn't even help that it happened because the crisis isn't averted. Does this person know better to not do it again? I know I didn't. It took me, depending on the specific situation, it took me a lot of times to just kind of like, okay, this is clearly not gonna go in my favor. Why am I still taking a gamble on it? So yeah, just to kind of you know, not to be too vague about any specific situation, but
I had to be kind of vague.
Yeah.
You know, but
I definitely get that, and because I've been kind of like battling with myself on whether or not it's a fear, and I know it's a fear because I don't want anything to happen, and like that's always been a thing, like, oh, don't do this or you'll hurt. Don't do this or you'll die. Don't do this or you'll bleed, and you know.
I mean, but if he dies, he dies. No, but for real, like all the things that I've done against I'd say what I've been conditioned to be afraid of doing, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still, even, you know, not just my parents, but my peers, you know, just anybody that has advised you, like, I'm still here, like I'm alive. Like the worst case scenario is I fuck my money off the long way. College, furthering my education, is the main thing that if I could ever say that I fuck my money off the worst way ever so far in my life, has been.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, take advice and stuff like that, but also, sometimes the shit just don't matter. Sometimes people tell you stuff because it makes them feel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be a thing, but it is because people. I mean, people. It's love. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's love, but at the same time, it's like have to let somebody go. I ain't died yet. Then, what's the worst that's happened? I fucked my
And I
money off.
think
I
outside
ain't gonna
of
fuck my family off. Yeah, that's the other worst part. Worst case
yeah.
scenario now is that I fuck my family off, and I would never go with anybody that advised me to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No better.
But that's part of the this thing called life, is that whether you believe in faith or destiny or anything like that, or a lot of us, we at one point were like, oh, nothing's ever going to get better for me, so we kept that mentality. Nothing did get better because we kept the pattern. You don't break the pattern, nothing's going to get better. You don't have faith, or you don't value yourself enough to say, I do deserve more. You'll never have more. And that doesn't apply to everyone, I understand that, but a good portion of people out there who have felt those feelings, you can achieve more. You're just telling yourself because you've been hurt, you've been just gone through things, and it just seems like there's no end to it. You have to make the end. You have to break the vicious cycle of it all. Say, yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, you're right though. Like, it is a huge part of it, breaking those generational conditions. Call them generational conditions, necessarily curses. I mean, they're all kind. It's low key a curse, but um, I don't want to say that because it's like a negative word to the way that some people have spoken based off of fear. You know what I mean? It's not their fault. People weren't thinking generational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. It's a bad thing, but it wasn't badly intended.
Right.
All the time. But I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit. But sometimes it just don't work for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't give me the same advice as you'd give Donald Trump's kid. You can't give me the same advice as you give Will Smith's kid.
Yeah.
If you hear this, Will, just bring me into Westbrook Studios, man. I'll work for you. Apparently something's supposed to happen. I'm putting it out there.
Oh my god, dude. Not even a whole episode back.
I think in a way I kind of idolize him.
I think
I'm critical of him, and I like him. I don't dislike him. It's kind of weird, but
do you feel like a lot of it was because growing up watching Fresh Prince, that was like for people our age, that was like one of our closest realities to like real life of someone who's came from nothing, is living with people who have a lot of something, but they're still all in the same boat mentally.
I never really put that kind of stuff together as a kid.
Kind of hard to, when everything in front of you is just kind of like,
yeah,
like having to be able to sit down and to understand like everything as far as being conditioned out of fear. Like what is it going to take to actually for you to sit there and actually think about that on a normal day?
Yeah.
Like and to kind of say like the whole basis of fear and conditioning with parenting and teaching and everything, like we won't go deep into it, but like religion and politics, and then depending on your ethnicity, what your upbringing was, and your environment, what your upbringing was, all that comes into play. Because me being African American, Vietnamese, and Native American, I can tell you from three corners of the world how it's very similar. There are stories, there are fairy tales, there are fears that carry over for generation, because we're just constantly repeating the words that were said to us without understanding the other party's imagination on how they're going to take that, until they come to realize one day, like, I remember this person told me this, and as a kid I took that very strongly and very oddly, but now that I'm old enough to understand where that fear stems from, I don't have to be worried about it, because part of fear is the part of how we combat fear is preparation. You can't be 100% prepared.
That's
at
the
all.
gym right
But
there.
as long as you know how to be prepared,
Everybody give the
mostly,
ooh.
if you have some kind of preparation and an understanding of how you can react to things, that is how you combat fear.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to prepare for everything, but if you allow
5
yourself
Ps.
to understand how to control yourself in a certain situation, figure things out, assessment, and then how to either help anyone around you, or if you're not comfortable enough with helping anyone, how to navigate yourself out of that situation
Make
and kind of be
this
the beacon.
shareable.
Kind of be the beacon. But yeah, no, like definitely. And then I feel like you've done a lot of research and understanding, and you've been around other cultures, the Hispanic culture, their fears, knowing what they've kind of grown into, and
Yeah, you know. Well,
being
I don't can't really speak
African-American.
for the Hispanic culture. I ain't really kicked it with a lot of them like on that
Oh, you
level.
haven't? Okay.
No, I mean I get along and stuff like that. I know.
I mean, you seen Training Day.
Well,
You've seen Training Day.
in Training Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever got your shit pushed in? That's not a whole cultural fear.
Nah,
That's not a whole cultural fear. I don't know why I said that. Take that back.
No. Keep that like you did mine.
I definitely will. There's my one. But let's see. Yeah, there's so many fears, and we're just spewing the same thing until you kind of turns. Breaking the cycle of spewing the same repeated fear is understanding how to break it down instead of just saying the same thing over and over. Don't go out into the woods because the chupacabra's out there. What's a chupacabra? A big old beastie thing.
Yeah, chupacabra's not good. Stigini.
Right.
You ever heard of Stigini?
No.
Yeah.
So when there's no description, or if the descriptions are like way too over exaggerated, you don't have that explanation, so therefore you don't understand the imagination of the other person that you're telling, and then things kind of get crazier, or they have the possibility of getting crazier. So you have to be able to break it down instead of just telling me there's a monster out in the woods that'll eat me if I go after a certain time of night, or if I go alone, or both. Kind of give me the understanding of what I'm going into. Hey, listen for this. Watch out for this.
I told you. You didn't listen.
Don't go out.
Why would I listen if you ain't tell me what I'm really doing? You know what I mean?
Go out in this type of weather.
I'm gonna fuck around and find out. Okay. I'm just gonna do it. Gonna do it. Can't stop me. Bow. Nah, but that's for real. Like, it was fucked up. Like, it was all vague and stuff. Can't really be vague if you don't give all the.
I'm listening. I'm just zoning out.
Woo. Okay. But nah, man, it's like, and that's where, like, how you gonna be vague and serious? Like and then,
Yoda.
like, this is critical.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing.
Okay.
Being like the art of explanation is just as lost as the art of communication.
Yep.
If you can't explain to me why I should fear something other than I'm just supposed to be feared, either I'm gonna take it too seriously, or I'm not gonna take it seriously at all. So you have to be able to provide enough information for it to be valid.
Let me tell you, I'm Mr. Unserious. If you don't give me a good enough reason, I'm not going in there. Like, it's just what it is.
It is what it is.
Man, come on, let's go see what it is. And I'm scary. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't just about to go into anything just all willy-nilly. But if it's something that I really want to do,
Yeah.
and something I feel like would be good for me, like college, you know what I mean? I feel like it was going to be the best thing I could have done. In a lot of ways it was. I just fucked my money up. But, nah, I'm not about to not do something because somebody else told me because they was afraid. I'm not afraid to do this. Like, I used to let a lot of people talk me out of shit.
Yeah.
But I can't afford that anymore. I'm tired. Click clack, click clack. Yeah, I'm tired, man. It's like I can't do nothing for nobody else no more. I don't like I should have. So I'm gonna be doing what I'm doing over here with my people.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Plus, let's just kind of, let's dive a little deeper. The mental stress that it has on you, the anxiety, if you will, to live in that fear. If you ever understand,
That's a toll on listening to the people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what you get.
Yeah. So like if you ever like allow yourself to be free from it, but just by allowing yourself to kind of like pick apart everything about the fear. Like let's say for instance, as a kid you had a fear of the dark because of, the boogeyman or whatever it was that you were associated with or exposed to when you were young.
Right.
So as you get older, if you still carry that fear, you might have the mental capacity to kind of break things down. Thus, what will happen in therapy? You're able to, you're provided the tools to break things down, so you can
Right.
isolate that fear and understand why it's allowing you to, or like why it's keeping you from living your life.
Right.
So let's break it down to a mental sense. You're told boogeyman, dark, and then like every time there's a dark corner, you're like, oh, I see eyes. Do you actually see the eyes, or are you constructing that in your mind? Why are you constructing that in your mind? Because there's a fear that tells you that one, something is watching you, therefore you see the eyes. And then because it's darkness, that dark corner is gonna grow the more you look at it, because that fear is starting to actually grow within you. And then you start to see the eyes, and you start to form a shape, and then you think something's coming at you. But when you blink and actually allow yourself to come out of that fear, it's just a dark corner.
Yeah.
And so like when you allow yourself to pick that apart, why was I scared of it? Why am I constructing eyes? Why is that growing in me? Because it was an unresolved issue to understand what the darkness actually means. Now I can't really go into that because I don't know what the darkness means to you if you're scared of the dark as an adult, which, hey, as funny as you may want to think it is, it's actually a serious thing. Because what do you do at night?
What movie is that? I have the worst habit of like referencing to everything.
Yeah.
The Rob Schneider.
Bad News Bears.
No, that's Billy Bob Thornton.
Was it?
It wasn't the Rejects. It was
Are you sure? I know which one you're talking about too. If you build it, nerds will come.
Yeah. Oh boy. That was definitely
Let's just look
damn
at
it.
Rob
Now
Schneider.
then damn near forgot the context already.
Oh, because the Nick Swartzen's character was scared of the sun.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He's like, what are you gonna do about the moon?
Bench warmers.
Bench warmers, that's
Bench
it.
warmers.
That's it. He's like, have I ever told you about the moon? But that's another thing too, though. Once you finally decide that you step out there, and somebody might have been low key kind of right.
Yeah.
That fear gonna like come back to you, like, and are you gonna second guess what's going on, or
Trying to pile on more.
Yeah. Are you
at-
saying, oh, they was right, man? Now I gotta go back home, or
Right.
do whatever, or do you?
Because I think the growing fear in that aspect is actually, trying something new.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like, if you're the type of fear where you're starting to stack on fear, it's not the fear that you've created. You're making that fear to subjugate for the actual fear. You don't like change, so you've had a constructive fear to kind of mask that. Oh, I'm scared of the dark. Why are you scared of the dark? I don't like going out at night. Why do you like going out at night? Well, not bad. There's nothing out there that's happening. It's all safety precaution. Okay, well, and then you kind of get to the baseline. My actual fear is serial killers.
That's your actual fear?
No, that would be like if you like kind of like break it down and kind of get past that barrier of, oh, I don't like the dark.
Yeah.
What's your actual fear?
I'm afraid that person might come in and come and hurt me. That's a lot of the thing about gun owners. Nobody's gonna come in and get my stuff. Well, cops are, I'm going to say conditioned, but they have no choice but to, because that's literally their everyday. Which is why I'm not always so.
Sir.
Tell me. No.
Sir.
I got a cousin that's a cop, right?
Okay.
So he's not a serious cop, but
And this isn't all cops.
this is not all cops. But that's just like saying cops didn't adopt gang behavior.
They did.
They did, right?
Mafia behavior, yeah, all that stuff.
So
Yeah.
if that's kind of, you know what I mean, you have to think that way because that's that same culture.
But here's the thing: those cops also move differently. Cops who aren't affiliated.
Talking about Willis.
So
No, I'm not talking about like affiliation. I'm talking about just like everyday life. They
Right.
are made to believe that every stop I make, I have to save my life.
Just like soldiers are made to believe that they're actually protecting the country when in fact they're tearing down a lot of stuff going on offshore.
They
away
don't.
from the country. It's a discipline that they're instilled because they
Right.
strip you down and
Right.
then they build you back up
Right.
in the way that they want. And yeah, I can understand that you're conditioned to believe that every person that gives you a look is ready to attack you or shoot you or you're going to lose your life. But you're also disciplined to protect and serve.
No, they're not. That's the problem.
And that's what needs to
That's
be
the
addressed
problem.
because
But I wouldn't.
So we as a people need to understand, because that's what we believe, that's what we're made to believe, that they're protecting and serving.
Mhm.
And they're not.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious they're not.
Yeah.
You're meant to protect your own.
So if they're not providing them with the therapy or that they need or actual time off unpaid
Yeah.
that they need with the disciplines they need to, they're not. So like, and not necessarily to touch on that, but at the end of the day, 9 cops out of 10 are going to go home thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I meant is like, yeah, they still suck. Don't get me wrong, but I still got a little bit of empathy because you have to think about it. That's what they do every day.
For some, I know that there's a good number of the cops who are so headstrong about themselves because they have the badge, they have the authority, that they can act like they operate in that fear, but they're just ready to shoot. They're ready to unload.
And that's not exactly who I'm
They
talking
want
about
the
either, because you know I know that I know that is short.
Yeah.
But like I said, 9 cops out of 10 is gonna go home with that mindset regardless.
And it's really hard to have a conversation about the police force because there's so many types of cops. You can't really narrow them down to this being like one category.
Yeah.
Because you have the good cops who actually took it seriously, like they are protecting and serving,
Mhm.
and everything that they learned from the start to being on the street, like they take that job very seriously.
Oh.
They're
If I say I got a cousin that's a cop, is that like the same energy as having a black best friend?
no.
Okay,
because
okay,
you
I
don't
just wanted to
plan
make
on
sure.
utilizing it to your advantage, other than getting stopped by another police officer. So kinda, it's all.
It worked in my favor when I was living
all
in Oklahoma.
situational.
He didn't like. I didn't need that offer, and they'd see my last
Right.
name.
So yeah, it's all situational. Like if
It is.
you're looking at a cop and like, oh, I've got a cop I have a cousin that's a cop, so I can do this. Then yeah, definitely, because like
Yeah,
that's
no,
pretty much
no.
equivalent to wanting to say the N word. But
That's fair. That's fair.
But if you're just like, oh no, I have a cousin that's a cop, and it has some kind of special benefit that you weren't seeking, then no.
Nah, okay. But no, they go to sleep thinking like that. Most people do because the average citizen does too.
Yeah.
So I spent a day doing the clinical as an EMT, and I've seen more stuff than the average day.
Yeah.
So a cop's gonna see more on the average lifespan as a career as a cop than any regular person gonna ever say that.
Yeah.
That's why I give him like it's deep, and I don't always let that be the thing. But
I think what it is, it's the person, because the badge will accent you in a way that you allow it to. So if you're a douche, you're one of those guys who's just out to look for confrontation, who was bullied and who's looking to turn it around and make anyone else feel their wrath.
Yeah.
You're gonna make the cops look bad because it's you and all the other cops who do that.
And then once again, another layer of fear.
And then you have the cops who took whatever happened in their life and they're like, I never want to see this happen again. That's a layer of fear in the sense that they're always looking for it, but they know in front of that is protection. It's obeying the law, understanding that you are not above it, you're just the authority of it. And so and if you take all these circumstances of seeing police and discharging their weapon, have the ones who are like, oh, like they try to make the scenario fit while they're about to pull out their gun. And it's clearly obvious that they're making it because they're using terms in a sense like, oh no, you have a camera on you for a reason, dude.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Yeah, I'm not about the
And then, you know, like there's the cops who are like, hey, I just want to make sure everything's good. They're trying to de-escalate. Something's about to happen. And as soon as they see that there's a threat, they go to hold it. And
Yeah.
they call for the warning. Hey, stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't make me use this. And
Yeah.
then, you know, of
Fake
course
ass
you
John
can't,
Wayne's.
depending on the situation, of course you can't give 3 warnings, right?
Right.
So, but you have to give that one because that's your job.
Right.
The warning. And then if you feel like something's about to happen, then you discharge it and you distance yourself. You don't just sit there and say, hey, stop resisting. Pow, 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 pow. He had a gun on him. It was his fucking inhaler.
Yeah, you know, those are active everywhere, man.
So,
Like I said, that's a level of fear.
In a sense, I'm going to stand on what I was saying because you are disciplined and conditioned to kind of treat your fear as a protocol because there are steps to take. In every scenario, you're trained in every scenario on how to handle it. I understand that there's scary situations out there. I'll never take that from any cop ever because I've been in scary situations.
Right.
I didn't have the authority to act on it though.
Right.
I had the anger, not the authority.
Right.
But I'll never take that. But I want everyone to understand when you're speaking on the subject of police and police brutality and everything in that kind of category is knowing what the training was, the discipline was, the conditioning, the reason why you're doing it, and then how you're applying it. Because if one cop can show it to another cop and check that cop because they were wrong, we know that there are good ones out there. We already know that there are good ones out there. We definitely know there are bad ones out there, but we know that there are good ones out there. There's still hope, but we have to understand, why aren't we keeping up with the discipline? Why aren't we, you know, like, and then here's what I don't understand is that a civilian can be innocent until proven guilty, but you're still locked in jail. A cop is innocent until he's proven guilty. He's on leave with pay.
Yep.
So I had this kind of theory, but you know, me not being on the police force and knowing anything about the police force, I didn't actually extend it because I don't really have a lot of say in what should be done. But I have a suggestion. With police and military, there should be a quarterly psych evaluation. And there should be a stricter evaluation on whether or not you allow cops to even hit the streets or to stay in and, you know, hit the desk. Because if you've had one too many incidents where it was a close call, or like even if you had a suspension, like a 10-day suspension with pay, you're suspended from the street for a quarter.
So if I break too much stuff, I get fired.
No shit. I mean, I see
Can't
that.
keep costing the company. I mean,
but see, all that
I
is
get
money
moved,
too.
I get fired. They find something
The
different.
police force's money. It's the people's money. It's taxes. However that works, because I've always heard it in movies and TV shows. I pay your taxes, therefore I'm your boss. I've never really believed that, but it's
everything that the taxpayers pay goes to the government.
Yeah, and their government.
Their government.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate hearing the like. I will say this, and me not even being a cop, I hate when I hear people say it because it's like, what's the point?
It's people. That's that bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're looking for any level of authority because you don't have when you really know. Like those cops also.
Yeah.
They just want to go home,
and
dog.
See, here's the thing about cops. Here's the thing about understanding cops all around the world. Not even talking about the ones in the United States, because like different parts of the United States, those cops have to be ready at all times. Like gang heavy areas, drug trafficking heavy areas, sex trafficking areas. Like they got to be ready at all times.
But that's why I said what I said.
Yeah. And then you have the ones who just like have nothing to do other than to ride around and give a ticket here or two, but you got to stick up your ass and you're just ready for the action.
That's that small town shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's those ones that came from a smaller place.
Yeah.
Getting a higher wage in the next biggest city that they can go to. They went shopping in school clothes all the time when they was little.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up to Milwaukee. I'm a great cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming from Podunk, Wisconsin. Like, no, what was that, Minnesota where that shit happened? Where George Floyd happened?
Oh, yeah.
Even though that was way more personal.
Yeah.
But it's just that kind of mentality. People come from these smaller parts, watching Walker, Texas Ranger their whole life, thinking they about to really get some bad guys.
Yeah.
Most people just want to go home. Most drug dealers just want to go home, unless Nah, never mind. That ain't the case
Nah.
nowadays. It used to be. That used to be the thing. Like you find it like you didn't want to waste your drug dealer's time because
They
he was
want to
gonna
be out
start
here
shorting your
making
sack because you was taking too
money.
long type shit. But now, well, I actually depends. If it's a weed dealer, he probably still just wants. But all this fentanyl shit and all that other rampant shit, a lot of people are doing it for the looks and everything like that. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck would sell that?
Just like lean.
That was a culture back then. Like, unfortunately, it did start killing people a lot. But
I get where you're saying, like as to why you say it was a culture thing, but I hate using the term for that specifically because that was a phase more than a cultural thing.
it was a
They
phase.
try to turn it into a southern type of thing, and that was
No,
like
it was a southern type of thing.
But
Like
it was a southern
even since
phase,
the early
yeah.
'90s, like way longer than it was ever
Yeah.
in rap. It was a thing. You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
But to use the term culture on that kind of thing, it was too short for it to be a culture thing. It was definitely a phase for sure. But it was also so detrimental that I would hate to use the term culture because it was killing people.
it was.
And if it wasn't
but
killing you, it made you dumb as hell.
black culture kills a lot of people, man.
Yeah. But then again,
Unfortunately, we have to call it culture because that's what was engraved. But like, black culture has many different meanings, and we have to be able to separate ourselves.
I think
Because
that's a problem.
That's a huge problem because
to have that mentality of calling everything in the black community a culture rather than a phase because we've gone through so many.
it don't matter if it's a phase or anything, it's present. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The thing is, it's detrimental.
Yeah.
I mean, I separate myself. It's not my culture. My culture is not all black culture.
Yeah.
Period. I can't sit up here and say I keep speaking for them. So there's a whole bunch of black culture people that don't speak for me.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So I'm not about to sit up here and say that, but it is a black culture thing. A black culture thing. How about that? Because not my black culture.
Yeah.
Somebody's black culture, yeah. I didn't really come up that kind of a black person. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. I'm not I'm not degrading or down talking nobody about it. But you know, niggas been separating me since the beginning.
And
so
that's a
how
good
could
thing
I
to
think
separate it because
any
you're
different?
not I hate to use the term in this way, but you're not a degenerate because degenerates are in every race.
I am a huge degenerate. Thank
You're
you.
not.
All right, man. Believe what you want to believe.
There's degenerates in every race. So it's not actually
I'm
like
just not a killer. I can get on people's nerves good.
Are we about to hit our one Tupac
But
one
don't push me.
episode?
It's like the Swedish shore next to getting pussy. Picture grab some loaded wise words being quoted. Yep.
I think we've hit our like one major disagreement. I hate to call it a culture thing because I definitely want to call it a phase because I think genuinely I hate the way it looks when we're like, oh, it's a black culture thing that we're like this way and like we're like that way. Like it's all phases. Like we all know that African Americans have style. Like you know so well that it's used in Korea and Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So phenomenal that African Americans have style, but we're not the only ones who have style. But like it's known in America that African Americans have some top-notch style. Now the phases in our style, everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's just black culture. That's just black. No, it's a phase in the culture of fashion. We have fashion, but they're all phases of fashion.
So let's take it back to lean.
Yeah,
it is a phase in the culture of drugs.
So
right,
I will say this. It's known to be in the now neo white American culture that prescription pills are used excessively.
Right.
Because that's been an ongoing thing, because it's an addiction.
Right.
With lean, I feel like that's a phase because there was no reason to do it. It was just because, like weed's not a culture. Well, it's a culture now. I take that back. But it's not a black culture.
But
weed is a culture on its own.
Think about it like this: how many white people did you hear about sipping?
In the South, a few.
Who?
Whoever the block fuck with.
Exactly. So, like, who did you hear
in the South? No one. I'll say that. In the South, did he? I almost said his name, but I didn't think he did. Did he?
I'm almost. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I wasn't there, but I wouldn't say that he didn't. But Sip and Syrup and Purple Oil and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you talk about it. You know, it's because it's part of the culture. Right? Buckets. But that's part of the culture. Bucket. That's what it is. You know what I mean? That was the culture in Texas.
Okay.
So if you say I will not say black culture. I say that was Texas.
Okay.
And it was
Texas
a phase.
hood culture.
No, I'm not even gonna put it that way because some people in the hood was probably going up to the burbs delivering some of these cups of water. Because drug culture, black culture, drug culture is black shit.
Actually, you know what? I think I find it hard because of the image of sipping lean. The image of sipping lean, styrofoam cups, and then just whatever it is that you're wearing.
Now tell me that's any other culture but black.
So that's why I'm like, I'm trying to pull away from that image. That's why, like, it's an image, not a culture thing. Because like, I understand people like the codeine syrup, but to drink it that way, it's not all black people. That's why I can't put it as a black culture thing because it's not all black people. It's not all those Southern people.
But that's like saying I don't partake in white culture.
You season your food.
Yeah, but I watch.
That's like the easiest thing to say. It's a low blow, and it's so overused.
Look, I've had I've had a few shepherd's pies in my life.
But do you
I've
make
eaten
that
a couple
shit
shepherd's
every
pie.
Sunday?
I'm not that white, but that's what I'm saying. Like some kid had a phase where he was drinking lean for a semester of high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you dip and envelop, but you crossing over to a culture.
Yeah.
The lean was more of a black culture thing because of the audience. You know what I mean? Because of who you saw doing it.
Can we narrow it down to a hip hop thing? Because you're giving the entirety of the black community rap because of
I'm not getting
lean.
Because like
when
I
you
said,
say it as a culture, yes. When you say it as when you
ain't
use the word
black culture.
No. It's definitely a big phase in it.
So you not gonna give us hip hop, Mike? Who you gonna
Who
draft?
said what? Who said what?
Ultra. Oh, what up?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Okay.
No, for real though.
You know what? I'm trying to let me just kind of think about it. Hold on. Let me think about it.
And then we're gonna figure out it's all black culture because black culture is everything.
No.
Everything, bro.
Yeah.
Except for unseasoned chicken.
Okay, because the black community did start hip hop. And we made it grow to where it is now. Okay, that's a cultural thing. But phases in the culture, like lean, it's a phase in the culture.
Right.
It's a phase in the hip hop culture. I'll say that.
So why can't I just cover the whole bases and say black culture?
Because it's not all black people.
Neither is gangs.
I would never call that black culture.
You wouldn't?
No. Because the mafia, the triads.
Okay. So
yeah,
I will 100% give you that.
Yeah. No, and then I hate to say it, the way people do it the worst.
The way you,
we do gangs the worst. It's kind of trash how we do it.
Whites.
There's no organization with it. It's
there
just like
is a lot of organization when you look at what really goes on beyond like the news and stuff. If you have a real conversation with a real crip, they learn information.
Yeah.
They learn history. They learn names, all of that. And that's what they need to do in order to be initiated. You know what I mean? So when you talk about organization, organizes the church. If they're to the game, now we're not gonna sit up here and say the church is organized. Now let's be real. But I know that look you was giving. I saw that look you was giving me. But
hold on, AC still broke.
But who else? What other black conglomerate is organized?
Exactly. No, I can give you this one. black conglomerate that's organized. What's the college? What's the black college? The big one.
Langston.
No.
Spelman.
No. I think it starts with H. I can't remember the name, but
And don't come at me for not knowing HBCUs either. Hey, that's a Southern thing for real.
I mean, there's a lot of I almost said NAACP. No, that's basketball.
No, that's a black organization.
Yeah. NAACP.
I don't fuck with. I don't fuck with the NAACP. Crazy. Why you think you haven't heard about the NAACP in a few years? Why you think the NAACP wasn't a thing during the George Floyd riots and stuff like that?
Because whenever something goes on, that's when they show up.
They work for the IRS. Not the IRS. CIA. Probably IRS too. That's NAACP, the ones that got Wesley.
CIA, huh?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. Why is that a bad thing?
Who's the CIA formed? I mean, the CIA was formed against black people for the most part.
As a propaganda move, but why else were they formed?
For the gangs and for the what? For intelligence, for foreign
government.
intelligence. Yes, it was.
They
let's just say they have all the information.
That was a propaganda move.
But the thing is, why would the NAACP? CIA was a good organization.
Information.
What kind of information? Kill Dr. King?
No.
Yes.
And probably.
To kill Dr. King?
Don't quote me on that.
To kill Brother Malcolm? Putting the NAACP's work, just like the Black Panthers,
I was gonna say
and
that
all
too.
It's just like we don't. Why would I say that the NAACP was okay with supporting the CIA?
Were they? I'm kind of lost on history, American history here. Who was the CIA against around that time? I know you said black people, but like who specifically were they targeting?
The Black Panthers. It was the Malcolm X, and like between that time.
Yeah.
That's when the CIA was getting real during the civil rights time.
So could one say they were targeting the Black Panthers out of fear because what's above the law, as you know it on the streets? When you put your tiers of law authority, you have your security guards, your police officers. And then what's above that?
The clergy.
And then
Church.
what's above that? You start to go national. So when you can't handle local and state, you bring in national. It was a fear-based propaganda to believe that the CIA could actually do anything against them. All they were there for is information.
Right.
Also, what else was going on in the White House around that time?
COINTELPRO.
So why would you have the CIA target the black people instead of the White House when there was something bigger going on in the White House than there was the Black Panthers?
Because they hate us more than they hate what's going on in the White House.
So it was a propaganda move, because if you make the Black Panthers bigger than what's going on in the White House, then of course the CIA is going to look into it.
Right.
But guess what they were still doing?
What?
Looking into the White House.
Right.
Because they knew, oh, yeah, you're giving us something to look into, but don't think that you're off the hook.
But if that was the case, though, they would have cleaned up what was going on with black people for black people by now.
So I'm not defending because I don't really know a whole lot about the CIA, but think about what you just said.
What?
They were supposed to clean up. They don't do cleanup.
They don't.
No.
So what's the point of giving them the information?
Because you're giving them a target.
What's the point of having a target if you never fire?
Fear.
Who's afraid of what?
Exactly.
They just put civil rights on the docket for 2026.
You're creating fear. The Black Panthers were nothing to be feared because they were the Black Panthers to be feared?
By who?
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Who do you think wasn't afraid of the Black Panthers?
People who weren't going against them, who were doing right by the civil rights movement, by
the Black Panthers weren't doing wrong by the civil rights movement because it was over by the time they formed.
So like, weren't they okay? Were they not protecting the colored people?
Black Panthers?
Because of
yes, they were.
Right. So the disrespect, the segregation from the authority in their
Right.
neighborhoods, right? They were created to like be the militia against the local authorities,
Right.
because it was all unfair justice,
Right.
or unfair and injustice. But that's my point. There was nothing to fear because they were only doing what was done to them. But like the fear was based on the fact that they had weapons that the police did not.
Oh man. Now you gotta think about it different, this deeper than that.
Huh.
The fear was the organization that the Black Panthers, because they would have been more organized than the Crips by
Yeah.
now. They would have been more organized than any probably church.
I understand how
By now.
big they were.
So I mean, no, it's not about the size. It's about the level of organization. The nation's
I mean,
biggest
like,
fear
yeah.
is the organized people.
That's what I meant.
And so, I mean, when you break
Yeah.
down the organization, the thing for the CIA, if the NAACP is as organized as they say they want to be, why would you go for somebody that's willing to disrupt your organization?
So back to my question: why is their organization to be feared?
Why is an organization?
Why
feared?
was their organization to be feared?
Whose?
The Black Panthers.
Because they have the power to organize and overthrow in enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least get the idea, to plant the seed.
Right. But they weren't looking to overthrow. They were looking for the protection. Right?
Doesn't matter what they wanted to do. They don't want black people at this certain level.
Right. So they instilled that fear into America, and then
Yeah.
they took it to the next level and
Right.
brought in the CIA. I feel like we're saying the same thing here.
Yeah, I feel like we are, but I'm kind of wondering, like, why, what, like, I'm trying to figure out why it seemed like you disagreed that the NAACP was bad because they worked with us. I don't feel like the NC
Oh.
The
I can't really
NAACP
give you an answer
was
on
bad
that because I don't know enough.
yeah, they know, like,
I don't even know why actually.
see, look at you arguing just to argue.
But no, I think what I was trying to understand was pulling the fear away from why they were working together. Like, wouldn't that be a good thing? To have someone that's targeting the office to work alongside you, understanding that what their capabilities are.
But if they're also targeting black people, how
Yeah.
good could they be?
But when you're talking about the entire conglomerate, those conglomerates are also broken down into divisions. So what if there was a division that was like going rogue and they targeted MLK and Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali?
So why would they shut down? I mean, did they shut down that department?
That department was probably covered by the White House.
Got a target on the White House, but you just bailed out the CIA
Yeah.
in order to, you know what I mean?
Having
How
people on
bad?
the
How much? You're never going to be as good for black people as you are for these other people.
Yeah.
Why would the NAACP do anything with the CIA? They can put a target on anybody they want to, but they're
was
never
it
going to pull a
before or
trigger.
after everything happened
That's
that
just
they worked together?
pacification. A lot of people say,
Uh-huh.
I don't know this for sure, but I don't not believe it.
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they say he's like a big in the CIA.
Yeah.
So we can start that up from the death of Martin Luther King, just for lack of any other.
Didn't he have something against Martin Luther King?
Was MLK and not Jesse Jackson? I don't know. You know, there's a whole lot of stuff that wasn't covered. And mind you, for note, like when MLK died, he only had about I want to say like a 30% approval rating amongst black people.
Huh.
Wasn't high.
Yeah.
So
Because he was
we lucky Miss Coretta did what she did in order to keep that man's name alive.
he was positioning for everyone to nonviolence. Yeah. Everyone was tired of getting beat up, sprayed.
Malcolm X didn't have
Dogs.
that much either.
Because he, because I remember I saw something about it. Wasn't his just kind of like Muslim based?
At the beginning it was, and then he kind of went against
The Quran.
and that's kind of, they say, how.
Was he doing that because of his approval ratings?
No,
Or just
no,
because he was
wasn't
like-
doing shit for ratings like that. He was
Okay.
doing stuff. I mean, I think it was more so because it didn't feel right for him. They was asking him.
Yeah.
It was asking him to go against what he felt. You know,
The reason why I asked that question is because I want to, with you saying that they're working in tandem now, in light of the good, I want to say that because that there was a good part of the CIA that felt and disagreed with the way that they operated formally, and like there's a good, I feel like there's a good part of the CIA. I mean, if they're continuing the work and keeping like uncovering secrets about the government.
There's a good part of the police force too.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, there's probably like a good thing and a bad thing.
I don't think
they're
there's
working hand in hand.
That's like, you know, you gotta fish. Like, you're not fishing out the good part of the NAACP. Even the good, like, it's too many secrets.
I think I need to know what they're doing bad to remove myself from the neutral stance on where I'm at with them.
You shouldn't be neutral because the CIA is neutral. Friend is your enemy. But if you haven't made no enemies on either side, then that's neither one of their friends. You know what I mean?
So I guess the question is, why are they partnering with the CIA?
I'll tell you. I couldn't tell you why. I'm not that deep into it, but I mean, just like to have positions of power and to be able to continue to keep doing it. The CIA might have pulled up on them like, hey, I'm gonna give you this, but you better keep this right here. And we're not gonna let these happen, but I need you to be representative. And you know what I mean? They go for that. And that might be the what's really happening, but I don't know. But I just don't. The I've been to like I used to work with a politician, and I didn't. You know, I went to an NAACP meeting, and it was just they told a joke that was disturbing. They was talking about the joke went something like it was 3 groups of people: white, Mexican, and black, and white people did this with the wish that was granted. The Mexican people did this. It was so. And both of those were so constructive, and then they got to the black people, and then they did this. Why would you tell that joke at an NAACP meeting?
Who delivered it?
Board member.
Which he was or she was black, white.
They better not be white in no NAACP meeting speaking. But it was a lot of white people there, but they wasn't speaking. Not like that. But that's the thing. It's like, how you just gonna like? And I get it because for the position that we're in, it doesn't look as good as a lot of people would hope for. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But if you're not looking at the fact now that black men lead, I think the nation in parenting, then you're not giving enough credit to the current generation. You think about how much money black people really have, and the reason why you don't think so is because the ones that do have money are sitting inside, not being on the news. You're part of the problem. So if you can't see that, you're not really for the advancement of colored people. You may be been for the 60s, but you stopped in the 80s maybe. You know what I mean? Like, no. You're not bringing this shit up. You're talking about the things that you thought that we did.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't fuck with the NAACP.
Okay. You know, I can kind of understand where you're coming from because I felt the same way about the Black Lives Matters movement. There was a good.
It turned into a mess.
Yeah,
I was really supportive of it at first, and I really wanted to. The political aspect of it. I'm sorry that girl got made the decisions that she made or whatever happened. I'm sorry that happened. It sucked, but
it was definitely a good message. But as time went on, like the one thing that really rubbed me the wrong way and like kind of solidified my decision with them as an organization was when we held that offering talk or whatever. I think it was at McAdams Park, where the community was able to speak with the police and like we heard each other in light of Black Lives Matter.
Right.
Like, you know, all over the nation, it's being supported. It's being, you know, said out of, it's being uttered and everything. Like people are just like wearing the shirts and everything.
Right.
And then, you know, like we held an event where the police officers were willing to come and actually listen to the community, give their feedback, and everyone was just able to share and love and come together. It was a beautiful moment.
Let me just say something. I understand that cops are fucked up individuals on the long run. I don't like the police.
Yeah.
But for where I live, and I know it's a lot of fucked up Wichita police officers.
Yeah.
But I gotta be pretty appreciative of the Wichita Police Department for real, for real. And
Definitely.
this ain't no shout out.
Yeah.
This is not a shout out. I'm just accounting for the times that I could have been somewhere else. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like I kept it cool with the police upon getting stopped, and they wanted to act like assholes, and they weren't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can say that, all right, cool. I know some of them pulled triggers. You know what I mean? And I know but just speaking from what I say, I don't like the police, but I'm glad that I have the squad that I got. I guess because even though they take forever to get to see all that other shit,
Yeah.
I could have been dead a couple times. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. Still defund them. Still restructure them.
So like with me, when that event happened, I was like, dude, that's awesome. That's a good step in the direction with where we're at right now in time. The headquarters of the Black Lives Matter movement, because apparently like there was some BLM subdivision here that we created or something like that. I don't know what happened.
That's that's the problem with starting shit. Hashtag right there.
Yeah. So apparently the headquarters of BLM did not approve, and they actually even like kind of shut down the idea.
They did. That's when they shut the highway down, and I got mad.
Yeah.
I was driving home, and it just next thing you know, it was just an empty highway. I was like, oh man, I forgot they did this shit. But that was the problem that I had, which is why I said what I said about the police.
Yeah.
That wasn't our fight to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The way it was supposed to have been done, it was done. We had a rally at McAdams and talked to the police because of what we seen across the nation. We don't want to hear down the highway. And kudos to that bro for organizing it down.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you start your deal off of a hashtag.
Yeah.
Because it did get enough traction for the people at the head of Black Lives Matter to see. Made it a hashtag.
I feel like the BLM movement had just as much weight and flash as the term World Star did.
Oh yeah.
It was just used to say out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
You know?
But that's what it was originally. I kind of feel like that's originally what the intent was. Found out how ignorant we could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not to say that thing here was ignorant.
Yeah.
But
it was just kind of getting old to see the videos. Like everywhere a video would show up, you know, something would happen with a traffic stop. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. You know, somebody's getting arrested. I was
digging all that.
Well,
wait, you said somebody's getting arrested. What?
Somebody was getting arrested for, you know, actually doing crime.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. No, put that man in jail.
That's the
dead.
Same one. Then that's the problem with starting your shit from a hashtag. Free my bro. What do? He raped 5 bitches. Like, no, keep him in jail. Put him under the jail. He don't need to be free. Not that was a scenario, but just
free my bro. He done killed someone else's brother for no reason.
Yeah,
because he couldn't steal from him.
Yeah.
No.
Keep him in jail. But that's the same thing, and you get that when you get something. You know, every time you get, whenever you got something, somebody come around to try to, and it's imitation is the highest form of flattery type of shit. You know, that's what they say. And yeah,
I think one thing as far as with where we're at, so we can wrap up here. I think a big fear as far as the country goes is we feel like nothing's ever gonna get done. There's constantly some kind of agenda.
Did you see the highlights from that debate?
No.
Of course, nothing's getting done.
I don't.
I didn't pay no attention.
I don't care for it.
The biggest take I got out of it was Twitter trending black jobs. Fucking hilarious, and I got the context because Donald Trump said something about Joe Biden letting all the immigrants come in and take all the black jobs.
They took our jobs.
They took our jobs. They took our jobs. But nah, man. People are afraid. A lot of people are afraid, and I'm going to encourage myself as well as many other people not be afraid to start that business, start that podcast, to not be as available as you'd want to be. Like, stop being scary. Black
Okay.
people especially, because that started out with having that what was I about to say, cultural fear.
Yeah.
That something's gonna be messed up as soon as we get it started. And
Or it's gonna be taken.
yeah, like, oh, you took my idea, da, 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 da. Get on your shit,
The whole black people
get
can't
on your
have
job.
nothing thing
That's
because
what
the
I'm
white
working
people
on.
always take it.
Yeah, that shit right there. We can't be afraid of that no more. And don't be afraid of, man, not shit. Just like, get on your shit. Take care of it. If you fuck up, fine. I failed enough in my life to know that it's nothing but another instance. As long as I come around the corner every day and my son look at me like I'm the shit, I'm good. I'm good. But I won't look at me like I'm the shit if I start a business. I'm gonna need some time. But still, you know, I know that shit is hard. But we gonna get there. We gonna get there. But yeah, we can wrap up now. Yeah. What you draw, Mike?
I have to darken it, so give me like 5-10 minutes.
Oh, can I talk some more then?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
a pretty
okay,
simple
cool,
drawing,
cool.
but I want to darken it because it's actually, I want to see if you can see the definition of. You probably get it though.
I'm talking fear, losing creativity. I'm talking fear. Man, that's my shit. If I could smoke fear away, I roll that motherfucker up, and then I take 2 puffs. I'm high now. High now.
What's a small
That's
fear that you
fish.
have that you're kind of like, you would kind of be embarrassed to talk about?
I'm actually afraid of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Embarrassed to talk about, not so much anymore. I'm afraid of sloths.
They do have a scary face. Like, it's weird.
And then I seen one finally like kind of wrap around and kind of fuck with somebody. And I tweeted it, and it was like, I told y'all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I told you niggas.
You remember that meme of the sloth that was like whispering in that girl's ear?
My sisters had a field day when that first started. Like, I'm not afraid of sloths, and like I'm going to like, I don't overreact to any kind of I'm afraid of animal shit like that. But
Yeah.
I just would rather not. Like, they give me the heebie-jeebies type shit. But to see him on the picture and like them jokes got good. Like, what's the difference? Damn, jelly. I can't jelly my.
I used to love like those are one of the best memes that have ever been generated.
The
sloth.
the sloth memes were classic.
Those are some of the best ones, hands down.
What else might I be? I have a lot. Well, okay, here's one. If a bug is too big, I can't crunch it. I'm not afraid of them very much. I don't prefer to like touch them and be up close and personal.
Yeah.
But like the literal feeling of the crunch and guts and stuff up under my shoe kind of turns
all
my
in your hand.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I've had like a locust and stuff in my hand, and I play with the skins with those. But I don't prefer to touch really no bugs because I don't know what's gonna bite me or not. So what?
No.
I'm gonna say that's country shit, man. I used to be locust skins all over the place.
I used to have that same fear of like having things move around in my hand because I'd be like, you know. But like after having chickens, after having a bearded dragon, I've kind of gotten over that fear.
Yeah,
it does help.
I don't have. Yeah, I could see where that would be a thing because I mean,
texture.
When I'm working, like doing shit like when I used to be at my grandma's in the coops and stuff like that, it was way different. But yeah, you're right, because I don't really get that do that anymore. Some things that I can't do. Now, if I got big work boots, I'll crunch a bug in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But like thin sole shoes and like feeling and getting that crunch like that drives me nuts.
Yeah, no, I definitely kind of understand where you're
I'm
coming from.
terrified of wasps.
Because whenever I'm just so ready to fight him when I see him.
Fight
Like, when
'em?
I see a wasp is on site.
I hide like Debo coming when wasps come around, man. I do not. They don't do nothing but sting people. They don't do anything but inflict pain
I
and spread
learned
a
that
little pollen.
they have no purpose in life.
Yeah,
but chaos.
yeah. No, we're not going. Yeah. What about you?
Small fear would be, dude. When I was a kid, yeah, actually, all the way up until, I probably still kind of have it, but like for the longest, I was so scared.
Oh yeah, I'm still scared of heights.
Like not, I guess I can't really say heights, but kinda, but it's roller coasters.
Oh okay. Wait, are you still scared of roller coasters?
No, I've been on one, so I kind of understand how they operate, but because of Final Destination, I won't get one.
Oh, Final
And
Destination was
what
bad,
happened
bad.
at Joyland? Who got decapitated?
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
I got
that's
right
because
on
I
that.
stood
Right.
up, but you know, too much stuff happens like
Right,
on,
that's
on roller
some-
coasters. I won't get on one.
That's some
What-
Final
what-
Destination shit.
I'm not
stand
stupid.
up. Yeah, I'm an idiot. What?
I don't have that much
That's
of
straight
a
2000s.
adrenaline rush to think that I can stand my ass up or ride a roller coaster for that matter and be like, this is fun. Let's do it again. But then again, like especially like with riding rides or like bikes or anything where I don't have that protection, there's kind of like that fear that was based. Like anything can happen, especially if you're not wearing a helmet. Just kind of seeing the experiences all over the world.
Yeah, I haven't. Like, I'm afraid of falling. I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of falling. I get on roller coasters, when I can fit. I'm too on nobody's roller coaster now. I don't know. I see it as a facing fear type of thing.
Yeah.
I gotta face that fear sometimes. Like if the opportunity comes, I'm not gonna turn away. Turn away a lot, and I told myself I would stop, so I did it one. Yeah. Definition of fear: walking out that door.
I was gonna. That's not going.
Where y'all be going? Which way y'all be going?
She likes to go downtown. I do too because their court for how their setup is better, but on there, especially during the summer.
Yeah, I'm not a
trying
downtown.
to go early in the morning before work, and I was like, oh, get up early and go session in, like on the court, and no, that bitch was packed.
Basketball
Both courts.
Like you be hooping like that?
Not like that. I like to get in when I can. I'm more of a shooter than I am. Like I'm trying to work on my my ball handling. When I do go play, like I'm not sitting there like fumbling the ball every 5 minutes. Cause like my hands, I don't know if like whenever you see me play, sometimes like especially my left hand, they kind of get stupid. I'm not used to dribbling the ball. I just like. But yeah, I've been trying to get better, working on fundamental moves and everything. So whenever I play a pickup game, I'm not completely trash.
Yeah, I ain't gonna pick up. I'm not going.
I stay active, man.
I posted a meme myself. I missed the days when I used to be able to go outside and miss wide open like that.
I still do that.
That is, hey, I'm the worst basketball player, man.
I highly doubt that. I like sometimes I'll purposefully
No,
miss my shot.
You be real generous, man. If I call myself bad, like I'm honest with myself. I'm not, I don't need the sympathy or nothing. Like it is what it is. I suck.
Can you dribble the ball?
Yeah, I actually got pretty good dribbling.
You're not the worst.
Well, ask me to walk with. I can walk and dribble. I can maybe go through my legs. When it comes to being in game and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the pressure's on. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I try to get my fundamentals down, so like when I have that pressure of playing with somebody or people, I don't tense up and like
we can
I
go
just kind of like get dumb brain.
I feel like you ain't gonna judge me. Like we can't play no 2-on-2. Don't ask me to play no 2.
No, because if I'm playing with you, I know I get to actually shoot around and practice.
Yeah. We just practicing.
What's practice?
We don't know.
Talking about practice, man.
I am no Iverson. Yes, I need practice.
Trying to work on my spin move.
Trying to work on the spin move.
Yeah, more so my left hand because I'm not dominant with my left hand. So everything I do, I'm just kind of like 5-year-old. So like, yeah, I've been trying to work on that. And then I used to be able to dunk when I was in high school. Trying to get back to that, although I've added another 100 pounds.
Yeah, I mean that would put a damper in things. Yeah, I like to kind of just regular cardio. We went to the Y every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
Every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday last week?
Every.
That's what you said.
Did I say every?
Yeah.
Oh. We went to the Y Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday last week.
Yeah, we've been trying to make it a habit. I like to stay active though, like working out, hitting the bag.
Yeah.
Weights every now and then.
I'd like
I'm
to
more
learn how to
active than I am weights. I don't care for weightlifting.
I like
I'll do it for
weightlifting.
strength, but like it's so boring to me.
I want to start doing hitting bags and stuff because I feel like it's going to be a more body workout and more of a trying to get that.
Yeah.
Right there. Did I say the right words? Sometimes I be feeling like I need to beat something, man.
Just like I'm telling Zach and Chan and Kyle, like the bag's open. If you guys want to pick a day, we can.
Man.
Chan's been busy, dude. He's been busy living his life that he's been dreaming for like the past 10 years.
Got it?
Finally got it. He got the girl. He's working. He's saving money. They got their own place.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, he's been busy. He's been focused. Yeah. Too well. He's that guy. Like if we were actually like a super strong bromanship, like in college or something, he was the one that got the girl and moved on. Like we'd be like, oh yeah, ever since you got your girl, you don't come around no more. But
Yeah.
I'm happy for him because he's been wanting for that for like ever, and that was his now or never moment, you know.
Yeah.
So like I get it. I won't fault him for it. Like let that man spread his wings and go. Like I know the love is still there. Like we had our good times. We're not done, but I know like right now he's focused on finding that structure for his newfound family.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Like I'm glad I found like friends along the way type shit. Doing the same thing I was doing with my other friends, and
Yeah, definitely.
it is, but it's great. It's productive as hell. Right? This is something you should do and not do.
I'm glad we were able to get back to this, man. It's
Me too.
been an itch, and like,
Yeah,
I
it
understand
was
the busy
starting
schedule.
to get a little like, yo, I gotta get.
Because like with the reason why I stopped, I'll kind of go over it so I can have a perfect segue. The reason why I put a pause on it is because like I needed to kind of like allow myself to remember why I was doing it and just kind of like reevaluate the past year, how I can do better, things that I was supposed to work on that I didn't, and then like with the new schedule that I have now, how am I gonna like make it tighter?
Up around 1 year.
We are on the one. Well,
Are we already
for
on the
us.
year?
Well, when did we start? July, August?
It's either next month.
I'll have to look to see what the
Look
first
to see.
video
I want
was
to say it was
posted, but
August,
yeah.
but yeah,
We'll have to actually like do something for our actual 1 year because I think I was like 2-3 months in.
still gotta.
No, we
That
have
would
to.
be a fun
And see,
streaming
like,
episode, boy. That would be a fun episode.
Do you want to do it like on a streaming episode?
We could like review it,
Like
or like we
have
could
to, like,
start.
show it.
We could start with a couple episodes and like kind of review it.
Oh yeah,
right after.
yeah. Hell yeah.
That.
'Cause, no, I've been trying to find. Like I know that there was a specific scenario that you wanted to also do while watching that, and I've been trying to find the right time to do it. But
yeah, me too.
I think the best time was like on a weekend night instead of me gaming.
Oh, a weekend instead of gaming?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
No, because she'll be at work and I'm
okay.
If like on like a Saturday, like a Friday or Saturday night instead of game streaming, we can just gospel stream.
I heard that, man. We gonna do something a little different one of these weekends. I can't wait. And be free now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because next week's the 4th. Well, it's the 4th weekend. It's on the.
Oh yeah,
it's
that'll
on
be.
Thursday.
I'm taking a 4-day weekend.
Are you?
Yeah, because the day after Friday, most people take off.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take the day.
Man, let's actually plan it though, because I've been trying to think about it. There's some like I'll tell you after this, but there's some stipulations about doing that extracurricular that I have to address with you.
Okay.
But nothing bad or anything, but like it's just something that me personally. Yeah, let's set it up.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Because yeah, we'll watch it in here. I miss that show.
Watching it here.
That or on the big screen, then come in here and stream. It don't matter. Yeah.
Okay.
Any last words for the stream before we get out of here?
Stop being scary. That's what I'm working on. If you don't see me, if you wonder how I'm doing, I'm working on not being scary, and I'm working on doing a whole lot more what I've been able to for myself. I was about to say for what I can give y'all, but I'm really not giving y'all anything. That's kind of what I'm happy about right now. I'm taking care of myself for a while, and I'm not afraid to lose what I thought I had going, because I'm not afraid of stop being scary.
With some cheese on it.
Cheese.
Ain't no meatloaf between these buns.
Is that light new?
No. You're just actually facing this way. See?
Okay.
You're always face this way, so it's like.
Oh, am I always just kind of like? I don't know. I feel like I'm brighter on here right now.
The sun. Actually, I think because you're actually like, yeah, it's a mixture of all of it because you're facing it
normally streaming
earlier. Yeah, because the sun's over here. Yeah.
Is my face? Y'all want to see my face? Oh.
Face reveal. I've already seen it. Oh, you want to show?
Oh shit!
Upside down.
I didn't think that it was gonna be an upside down picture, but yeah, I did it upside down. You see what it is?
How good he is. But here's mine.
Oh, shut up. And my shit be looking sloppy, but every time I do like sketches like these, I'm always like trying a different style or a different way of doing shit. Like, so like that's definitely far from final. Flip it upside down. I think it'll work that way. I think it'll work that way. It will. It will. You see it? It works both ways. Oh
That's
shit,
dope, dude. That's dope.
I didn't think man.
Handle it.
It's been a while, and I've been needing some confidence. I think that's really. I had this in my head, and
dude, that's dope.
it's gonna be one of the next ones. Like if I got a show or anything, if I do another painting,
Can't wait to see it.
that's gonna be, and it's gonna be shitload of color in it.
Stay up with the socials. We're gonna keep in contact with each other. We're gonna start setting things back up. As far as streaming goes, after the 4th of July, BAFSAF and Sketch and Catch will be back in effect, and also game streaming on the weekends. I'm ready to get back into it. I think I've had enough time off and reevaluation. I know what's up. So be seeing us soon. If I don't see or hear from you guys, and vice versa, you guys have a fun, safe 4th of July. Get at it this week.
Is relative.
Yeah. Don't lose a finger out here on these fireworks.
Hey man, if you lost one, you lost them all.
Just don't.
Don't.
Don't listen to him. Peace, y'all.
Adios. Is that the spot where you cut it off? Okay. You do that on purpose? You don't want the end part on there? Uh-huh.